Hello boys, my name is Koyoshi. Oh boy. Welcome back to my playthrough of... What's this again? Oh yeah, that's right. This is Pokémon Legends Arceus for Nintendo Switch. That's correct. Alright. In the last video, we left off doing some grinding and our stuff. And more importantly, we started the Wisp quest. Trying to get as many Wisps as we could. In the last video, we got some of them, but not necessarily all of them done. So, with that in mind, I'm going to actually look at my Pokemon and see if I can't find other stuff. I'm going to move some of my bigger ones, by the way, to the top of this list when I put them away now. Just so I can find them just as easily as the Pokemon that I need to evolve. And this one I'm actually going to bring out next this EV for a very specific reason. Everything else is just going to be put away for now. We may revisit it later. In fact, I'm going to use this 10th one partially as a way to keep my Eevee, just so I can keep track of where they are. But otherwise, we're just going to bring in all the other Eevee we've gotten and try to evolve them one by one using the stones we've collected throughout various grinds. Well, pretty much anything goes in this one. Whenever we can find one, we'll put it into our party. Don't want to have too many of them, man. So let's use this time to get rid of these two. Sorry if this is the way the video starts off, but to be fair, we need to get a lot of Eevee evolutions done. Because Eevee is the most evolutionary Pokemon, if not the Pokemon that evolves like the most times, more than anything. So, of course, we need all of its other stuff. Thankfully, the first 3 ones, in particular, tend to be the easiest of the stones to get. Because we know by default it has to evolve with, at minimum, the Ice Stone... or at least the Fire, Ice, and Thunderstone, and we know that from just playing the regular game, so we can do other stuff. Also, this is apparently how they evolve it to Glaceon. Good to know, because I thought for the longest time they could not evolve using that. Maybe the rock is just used for something else. Either way, we're gonna evolve this one first. No particular reason. Yeah, Eevee has multiple different evolutions. I like how, in doing so, we got one of the hardest ones out of the way. The Eshel evolution out of the way, like, almost immediately. Which is nice. Alright. Good, great. If I am going to complete the Pokédex, one of the biggest things to complete is probably Eevee's evolutions. There's just so many to go for. That's like a big source for all of the grinding we have to do. So, as for the other one, I'm actually going to try and interact with it using the Moss Rock and see if that actually causes it to evolve. If not, then it means the only other way it'll evolve into the other one is actually using a Leaf Stone. Which actually does seem a bit odd, and here's why. Because normally, Eevee, if you've actually paid attention to a lot of the other games, when Eevee evolves into Leafeon, it initially had to do so a lot differently than any of the other evolutions. I believe at one point you had to actually go to a manual location that had one of the 3 specific locations. An Icy Rock, a Fairy Rock, or whatever it's called, Icy Rock, or the Moss Rock, which is what you saw just in the last video. If you go to any of those rocks and bring Eevee to them and level them up during that area, you will then get it to evolve. And that's how you're supposed to get it to evolve into Leafeon, making it a bit of an odd evolution, but at the same time, not really a better way of doing it. Before I actually check other stuff, let's actually go to my list, because one of the items I did try to buy at one point was a leaf stone, so I'll see if I have that. I like how, because you can get stones randomly, that means you don't necessarily have to farm special items for any of them. You can just sometimes get them at random. Let's see what Shiny Stones does. Okay, so Shiny Stone does not work with Eevee. Good to know. Leaf Stone likely will work. The problem is, does it actually evolve the naturally too? There's only one way to really find out, though. We just have to go in and examine this area on the right with Eevee, which last time we did its grind, we found it somewhere in here. Good thing we have that jump, otherwise we probably could not get even close to that. At least the last time I've ever seen this, the Moss Rock was somewhere around here, so that's what we're going back to see if we can find it. Okay, here it is. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. So it does actually work its normal properties, but this time you just have to go near it, activate it, and it'll suddenly say, oh, Eevee's ready to evolve. So now if we do that, that should hopefully correct my theory and we'll get Leafeon from this. Yeah, okay, this is Leafeon for sure. I'm not sure, but we may have already gotten all of Eevee's evolutions already. I know we're missing... Actually, no, wait, no. We got almost all of them, but I know we're missing 2 of them in particular. Which I remember Eevee had to get a specific level and then evolve either during daytime or nighttime, and it would change into either Espeon or Umbreon. At least that's the way it worked. I think it may have been changed, though, to be just a stone now. Which is a bit odd, but yeah. Sometimes that'll happen. And if you're wondering why the other evolution is not on this list or with the others, it's probably because I forgot to mention that it's Sylveon is the one that's missing there, and that Sylveon I already used, so I thought I would go in and do that. Also, I still need to evolve some other Pokemon, right? We should make sure to keep on doing that. Let's see. Gastly is already evolved. That we don't need to do. Silcone we supposedly did all the stuff with, so really we should start from 9 and go back and use that as a way to figure out who needs to evolve. Machop for sure. Riolo for sure. Riolo I'll have to use on the field a bit because I believe he levels up with Friendship, which will make it take a bit longer. Golbat also has an evolution, which also levels up with Friendship. As far as I'm aware, the only good way of doing stuff... Snow hasn't evolved yet, so we'll get him an evolution. And let's see who else can we evolve. Bergamite we might be able to evolve, and I think we're going to start working on this one. I will say it is risky to not go with anybody other than these 2 Pokemon, but I've played enough of this game to know that if I just catch the Pokemon, I won't have to worry about battling. And even then, is the mess. But anyways, well, that was a big evolution fun, was it? Well, now we actually need to go back to other stuff. Oh, speaking of which, that means doing the Wisps. So I just wanted to have that set up for when I do other stuff, but otherwise, I just want to make sure I have some more Pokeballs here. Let's make some Gigatons. Continue trying to get as many Gigatons as possible and use some of our other Tubblestones to craft Ultra Balls. It's nice how easy you can get Iron Chunks now in this later version, or at least as of the later stars. Just by getting more other effects done, you'll actually get so much more done. Okay, so since I need to farm up friendship, I'm gonna try and hit all the trees with just Relo here. So I'll just make sure he's prepared, and then this says that as I proceed to a little bit sooner than I wanted. Alright, back to nighttime. Now we actually look for the important thing. I think I remembered saying before that one of the biggest things I wanted to get was the Wisp. The Wisp of Doom, or whatever you call them, the Wisp. There's hundreds of them hidden throughout the world, and until we get them all, I don't think we'll be able to complete the Pokédex. So, because that's a request, technically we have to do it, and so I thought, why not? What better way than to just get the most obnoxious of the requests out of the way? Really, this is the most obnoxious request. It takes you through all the different zones across probably hundreds of different levels, hundreds of different other stuff, and hundreds of different gameplay that you have to do, that it just gets pretty tricky after a while. But yeah. And yes, also, that was unlucky that we didn't get at least something. Wait, maybe... Is the rate of them actually finding good materials tied to their level? Because if that's the case, then oh boy, maybe we might have a problem. Because we just hit that 2 times or whatever. Not a single iron chuck popped out either time, which is not fun. Not fun. That's for sure. Because when I hit these, I've gotten so many iron chucks that I expected, okay, there we go. Alright, so that confirms that it's definitely possible. We just got absolutely unlucky there, and I don't know why we're getting so many water stones. Jeez Louise. Seems like every other time it's like, water stone! Oh, and suddenly appears out of nowhere, right? This is crazy. Oh, may as well, now wherever this is. Oh, it's Wormadam. Hello, Wormadam, how you doing? If I use this, I can have a better chance of catching it, because it'll resist it. Often a good way to weaken Pokemon is to often just intentionally use the move that they resist. Because then you can do battles easier. Now, Wormadam, because of the way the setup works with it, you cannot catch it in the same way as others Pokemon are caught. In fact, it can only be caught through battle. So, for that, and Cherum, that's another reason what makes it so difficult, is you actually have to get it in battle, rather than in anything else. Which makes it kind of tricky, and I should probably swap him out before things get too crazy. We'll swap to our stronger Glade. Alright. Then we'll start throwing balls again. Yeah. I like how some of the toughest Pokemon, or even some weaker Pokemon, that are at least decently close to level that are alpha, can give even an alpha like Glade. Right. Seriously, some of these battles, they seem a bit scary because, if you haven't watched the last episode, we nearly lost some of our Pokemon on some of the other battles. Which is, again, a reason why, because all the battles are so difficult in this game, it stands to reason that it might prove a point that this game may be either very hard or impossible to defeat with just one Pokemon. Of course, what am I talking about? Since you have to get star levels in order to even come close to beating it, yeah, it would make sense if you can't beat it with just one Pokemon. Of course, if you went to the any percent portion, then it would be doable, but if you're trying to complete the entire Pokédex while only using one Pokemon in battle, you can't really do that. Speaking of which, I found 2 Wisps really close to each other. One important thing I need to remember is whenever I find a Wisp, I need to actually pick it up. Alright. Where is it? Well, there's actually another one hidden here, too. There was one I saw a little bit back. Oh, no, oh, remember this big boy? We're gonna come back for him later. Snorlax is a big boy I think I talked about a little bit. One of those Pokemon I said where if you had a heavy ball or whatever, you could catch it pretty easily, even if you're in battle, because it's one of the heaviest Pokemon in the entire game, which makes it much easier to catch with the heavy ball than with something like a Pokeball, obviously. Alright. I swore I do not remember exactly where I threw. It might be more around here that I saw it. Also, something somehow damaged me in this. I saw my thing turn red just now. I could have sworn something damaged me despite me not doing anything, which tells me I might have fallen just the smallest bit. So that's a bit annoying. Oh yeah, that's right. That's where it was. It was in here. Alright. That's odd. It's not even going for it. It wants literally nothing. And it's getting stuck again. This Pokemon is very odd. I'm gonna have to look at its data a bit more and see whether or not it actually wants that Pokemon thing or not. It seems to not like its fact, and because I haven't caught it, I don't know exactly what it likes. Darn it. Because it's not liking its specific effect, berries aren't causing it to buzz at all. My idea is either a mushroom cake or another effect will have to be used. This means we'll have no choice but to actually battle it. I actually said before, I normally don't like battling these things. They normally do a lot of damage, so I don't like battling these unless I absolutely have to. But this is one, it seems like he just refuses to go down with how if I... It's pretty tanky usually, so I'll just do a couple of random hits. Nice avoid. That's would have been a lot of damage if that had actually hit. Now it's hit. Alright. I guess it tells you it's fixated on using Outrage. Perhaps the same strategy will still work, by the way. Let's use Gigaton Balls. And also, I guess I could have used, like, the other berries instead, but it makes sense that because Snorlax is so gosh darn big that it would do this. Yeah. These are reasons why I initially did not want to battle it this early on, because I knew it was bad. It's one of the tankiest Pokemon in the entire game. Of course it's not easy by any means to take out. Alright. Oh, nice. Perfect. Perfect timing with the HP manipulation. Now we have the problem of actually getting it to stay in the ball. Which of course it's probably not going to do for a while. And oh boy, discouragement. Time for Samurott to die in one hit, because that's what always happens when that appears. Strangely enough, it hasn't hit itself in confusion yet. It normally gets confused immediately after finishing that. Which also tells me it's probably a good idea to just spam the crap out of these. Try and catch it before it kills itself in confusion. Which thankfully it didn't. Alright, we finally got it. That took a while though. Time to head back and obviously heal. You might see this happen a lot. We need to heal every time a significant amount of damage happens, otherwise we risk just blacking out. And I'd rather not have that happen. Because of course, it is confirmed that you do lose your items if you black out. Up to 20 of them can apparently be lost. 20 different types or whatever. At least that's what's happened so far. Anyways, back to nighttime we go, and I guess now we have to proceed back to the area where we previously went. Except I'm not going to go that far this time. In fact, I'm going to go somewhere else instead. It's oh, it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to press that button instead. Yeah, I'd highly appreciate it if a Luxray does not pick a fight with me that early, because can't afford to black out at any point, really. Massive lake this is. That's for sure. So I just realized how you're supposed to get around these barriers now. The barriers preventing you from going for the lake. The only reason why they're in the way in the first place is probably to just prevent you from going in the area early. Or I guess those barriers in the other spot, those were made more to do other stuff. Another flyer. Goodness, I went really close to that flyer. If a flyer ever aggresses me, it's going to be very difficult. Also, that's probably how I'm going to be able to... And I have to catch those flyers. Remember those Pokemon I mentioned with the flying setup? Remember the Pokemon I mentioned where they fly so high in the sky it seems almost impossible to catch them? That's what you're supposed to use the Sky Ball for. Those things that fly very, very high up in the air. You're not supposed to catch them any other way. Speaking of which, we still haven't gotten the second setup of Shellos either, haven't we? We have to get that still as well, and that's in the third area of the game. Of course, that's like the least of our concerns now, as we pretty much explored the edge of the map. Now we have to explore it area by area. Not easy to do. And yes, whenever you reload the area, those same alpha Pokemon will always spawn in the same set spawn every time. It's the others that could potentially randomly become alpha, depending on. Also, that's a rare one I don't believe I've seen yet. Despite, oh no, wait, no. That looks like a Charmander for a second, that's why I said that. It's kind of odd how certain Pokemon almost look like others, especially when the rain hides it from your sight, because then you kind of get really confused as to where exactly to find them. Oh, wait. Where exactly is this? Oh yeah, Cricketon. Cricketon I'm not as interested in. I've gotten hundreds of those already. Never checked the beach of this, though. Yeah. There's B-Barrel over there, by the way. B-Barrel's, alpha form. That's probably one of the earliest alphas we ever tried battling, other than the tutorial one, that is, which is also kind of different. I'm just gonna climb up here, right? Oh yeah, okay, this makes sense that a Wisp is hidden up here. One of the highest points in the entire area. So far they haven't actually been as trolly as I was expecting, since of course Game Freak would have the limited visibility of having to hide them in plain sight. With the only problem being they don't necessarily appear until nighttime. The trickiest part is actually going in the right area to find them, but once you actually see them, they're pretty easy to find, get, and spot. Because once you see it, it's pretty obvious because it stands out from the rest of everything else that's here. I don't know. If I am going to do a series of battles again, I am probably going to have to train up my team some more. Especially for defeating that quote-unquote Master of the Sword, whatever that is. Which tells me it's going to be a legendary Pokemon somehow. I thought I saw a Wisp in there. No. Darn it. No list there. You can't just look in all the regular areas. You usually have to go to the areas in each zone which kind of stand out from each other. That peak being probably one of the most obvious ones. Which makes sense why there is a Wisp here. Why else would they want you to go up there than for a Wisp? Alright. Oh. So far, all these have been hidden in either corners of the map, completely separated from each other, or somewhere else. And no, I'm not cutting out any of this because I potentially might catch Pokemon in between, and that's why I said that's how I fill the boundaries, because I'm bound to run into some alpha Pokemon, which we've already run into quite a few up at this point, so I like doing that whenever I can. Just go for this area. That leaves the only last area in the game to look at. Oh, speaking of which, it's running at me. Is the first zone, which is kind of close to this area. It's the only other area where we can find stuff. And yes, that's all this request is, really. Just doing this over and over again. At first, you'll find these left and right, but once you get to, like, the last one, like I am, it's gonna get more and more trickier to find them. So now I'm doing them by area, and since I never found any early in the Horseshoe Plains, that's where I'm going next. So we're just gonna search around here. All this. Unless a specific strategy says otherwise, by the way, Braviary is by far the best way to find these, since you can see much further back than you can with Murdeer or something else. It is possible you could find them by just using Murdeer, but then you couldn't necessarily get them all, because there are some you just can't get with just Word Deer. You need the others as well, like Sneasler to climb up and all that other stuff. Of course, the best way to get the best vengeance point is to first go as high up as you possibly can, and then do other stuff. Also, I might use nighttime for a bit longer, because if you remember from the other parts that I play through, lots of these things, they're also kind of found only during nighttime. So yeah, it makes sense that you would want to do some other stuff. Other than all that stuff, though, I'm pretty sure when I missed, I assume the Wisp I'm missing right now, at least, is either in the middle of the area or somewhere I just completely forgot about that. So, or, okay, I was about to say we might have to, like, let this out and then I just find it immediately after I say that. Alright. Nice. Collected all the Wisps in this area. That means we can finally move on to the second zone, where we then must proceed to do the exact same thing again. Oh boy. Before we do anything else, though, there's a guy over there that has, like, a spot or something else. I think he had, like, a Pokemon or something. It's a bit suspicious. He could be a battler. And right now, our team isn't set up the best for battling, so let me fix that by adding in you, adding in you, back in, and replacing whatever the second to left is. Oh, come on, R with Dialga and Palkia. Also, I'm not sure if I actually caught Dialga. Oh, wait, no, I did. I just never got a chance to add it in. So, yeah, I'm gonna replace those evolving Pokemon I was using and instead go with this team. I like how I said I would do that. And here's why. I think this... she's battled us before, right? I think she might battle us. That's why I come here. So we meet here again. I've been hearing plenty about your impressive Excite, but of course I know you would a princess ever since you dealt with the Alpha Cricketune for me. I've had my hand full as well. I have no idea, but Metran keeps trying to run off in different directions. Where are you off to now? Okay, this is not a battle. I'm not sure what he's so focused on, but he just up and disappears without warning. Keeping track of him has been quite the task. What was that just now? It almost seemed to be responding to my glance. Huh, it's pointing to Raminus Island. My, isn't this exciting? It's about to see another strange phenomenon sweep across Hishui. Or perhaps I'm being too much into things. Could I ask you to visit Raminus Island to shed some light on this new mystery? Okay. That's pretty simple enough to do. Alright, so we need to look for this on Raminus Island now. And yes, I didn't mention I would do this all the time. The Wisp is just the request I'm focusing on. I am also trying to complete other requests too, so of course if I see one, I'll do it. Darn it, Infernape respawned. I believe at one point it was done with its fame, but now Infernape is back. Completed Pokedex entry for Roselia. A new anomaly. Alright. Alright. Well, let's trigger whatever the heck this is and see what happens. This seems to be the place Mai's Munchlax was interested, huh? Is that what you say? Oh! Suddenly Zorlas appear. I've only just found this. I just realized, because these are Zorlas, we could just catch them right now, can't we? Let's try that. Not really set up the best. I'm probably just gonna have to yellow ball these. Hope for the best. Or not. Okay, we caught it right away. Nice. Let's try to actually catch this with our stuff. In one of the other spots, Zorua was one of the rarest Pokemon ever. I think I only found it like one time, and even then it was quite rare. But I'll take it if some of them spawned in because of that special thing. That means... I just realized, by doing that one effect or whatever, Zorua seemed to have appeared a lot more frequently than before. Before this setup, Zorua couldn't even appear here at all. Now, there's multiple of them just kind of chilling next to each other. So whatever this area is, the very act of going into it has caused Zorua to suddenly appear a lot. So I figure, why not use that time to get as many of them as I can? So, I caught a few of them. I could go back and battle there too, but we'll see. I'll talk to him about it first. Done with your investigation, please tell me what you found. A pack of Pokemon. Hardly tells me anything. What kind of Pokemon did you see again? The spiritual Eiffel Fox Zorua. Well, you came across a rare Pokemon. I've seen him in the Icelands before, but not here. So, was that it, Munchlax? You were curious about Zorua? Well, this is unexpected. There are two Munchlax now. I naturally would never fail to recognize my own Munchlax. Alright. The Munchlax next to me, the other one. And now we find out the truth. Zorua has the ability to just clone himself of his other Pokemon, and so it naturally makes it confusing. It was Zorua. How odd for it to appear in the Fieldlands. Only hope this isn't an omen of something unpleasant yet to come. As a precaution, it might be best for you to report you aren't back to this back to your captain. What am I talking about? I'm just kind of awkwardly gisted out after all this. I was like, oh, I'm gonna tap all this, so like, let's just get this request done. Of course, we got a lot of effects going thanks to all these evolutions we did. Okay, so we have to defeat some using Dark type. That's probably what we're gonna go for next. Actually, while I'm still here, let's swap into Samurai and use Alert now to defeat some of them, if we can still battle them, that is. So, I guess that just confirms that for that one spot in particular, you can now see Zorua appear there, at least upon getting that quest, because, and I also like how that little trigger effect caused multiple Zorua to appear all in a pack, all together. There was no skipping of it, they were all together there. And it looks like they're still spawned in from earlier, so... Thankfully they're aggressive as well, too. It seems like they won't refuse to fight us. So we can just go over here and defeat them with some dark-type moves. Right now. Alright. And yes, I or whoever that was about right. Zorla is a rare Pokemon. Hello, Shellos. This is a bigger one than usual because it's an alpha. Okay, nice. Alright, now I'm actually gonna go out back. So just an alpha Pokemon on its own, that seems to get around 1,500 money. That's a lot for just catching one alpha, which is nice. And alphas weigh 50 pounds apparently. Huh. Interestingly enough. Alright. Well, that's convenient. I wanted to go back anyways, to be fair, because we got all the Wisps in this first area. We got all the Wisps in our areas, so we have to go back and actually report our findings. So we'll start by reporting to Captain Silene. This will get both this other quest completed and some other stuff, and then we'll keep doing other ones that we can find on our way. Right. Gathering of Zora in a place other than the natural habitat. Could this also been caused by the space timid? Suppose we don't know enough yet to say for certain. At any rate, thank you for the report. 30 Ultra Balls? Great, that's all. Huge word. Yoshi, things are growing worse. As we parted, Munchit actually reacted to several different locations, and there was a mass outbreak at each of them. Simultaneously in multiple locations? This be somehow different from the mass outbreaks we know. Why don't we call this new phenomenon a massive mass outbreak? Your new orders are to investigate this massive mass outbreak. Seems like I can count on you to keep investigating. Be waiting for you by the front gate. Alright. Here we go. Eighth star. Getting awfully close to that 10th star. You can now use jet balls. And full restores. And completing that very request, or even getting Blissey, it seems, just did that. Spawned in another request. Hippo the Survivor says a kindly Pokemon called Blissey saved her for a sticky situation. Speak with Pico about this incident and do your utmost to be of help, if you would. Alright. Alright. Let's complete some of these other requests that we haven't done yet. Oh, speaking of which, another request has popped up just when we thought we were done. Oh yeah, that's right. Suppose I'll tell you exactly what I witnessed first. So he took off running into rain, so I tried to stop him lest we got wet, but then I saw those mass outbreaks appearing all over. It was the massive mass outbreak that Munchlax is so curious about. If that's the case, Munchlax might be able to help us investigate this phenomenon. I'll work with you, as I'm concerned about Munchlax. Alright. Well, so that's like a special request within a request. Alright. Kind of odd, by the way, that this request requires us to go all the way to the right. If we haven't revealed Roselia up to this point, we haven't. We're gonna just focus on that right now and see what we actually need to do. We need it to be defeated with psychic moves, which thankfully is simple enough. Alright, we need to find Roselia and defeat them with our psychic moves. Of course, I need to figure out where they are before I look at that. Gatejaw Bog and Cloudpool Ridge. One of those is awfully and awfully close to the Brave Arena, so we'll go from there and use that to find out where to go. I like how there's still Kricketot in this area. I just realized Roselia are gonna only appear during the daytime, aren't they? I should change it back to daytime, or just do... Actually, the smarter play would be to just go for Wisp now, and then figure that out later. So we're gonna go for Wisp, I guess. Which means more Wisp stuff. Also, this is the first area in the entire game to have what's known as Bogwort, or whatever it's called. The reason why that's so important is because Bogwort is one of the trolliest items in the game, at least right now. Because, as you know, Wisps look exactly like other things, and ugh, just got it in time. And we found an area where Cherubi might possibly be. Until I figure out exactly how to recreate this, I'm pretty much forced to go for every single one of these trees and activate it in hopes of finding something. And also, I might start doing more in the Icelands area to try and find a Burmy as well. Alright, it's just hit daytime now. Or turning daytime. That should be more favorable for Roselia up here. Oh right, we also have Roserade to deal with as well. Almost ran. That was close. I better throw something to distract it before it even thinks about attacking me. Big smack in the back. It's just really cool to watch. Even if it doesn't work, it's crazy how effective that is at trying to catch your Pokemon. Of course, with some of the more difficult alphas, it is not easy to do this properly. Got it before it could turn around, at least. Alright, there we go. Well, that was an L1 as well. That was good enough for, one of those items, Did not want to change to that. Hate when it does that. Speaking of which, I should probably use my last other item before I forget about it. We're gonna take that. And now we look for an Roselia to take out. Also, I just remembered, yeah, that's right. couldn't really take out much Roselias because they have that dumb thing where they'll just run away from time to time. So we have to do the same thing as the back trick, but we have to hit a Pokemon's back. Because that way they won't be able to run away. Yeah, there you go, me. I just found a way to do that. While I'm here, I may as well defeat others with psychic moves too. It'd be silly to not attempt to be at least a few here. Get some more sent up on this Pokedex. And yes, when it's my first time doing a FET, I find it very important to try and get that done as soon as possible. Okay, thankfully the rest of this is pretty simplistic enough on its own. Yes, I've tried to mix it up this time. Alright. Also, I need to actually report the findings to the professor, not do nothing. Well, let's do that. Alright. Alright. Oh, seems you've learned a thing or two about Roselia. That didn't take as long as I expected. Actually, it took longer than you think. Let's have a look then. What? Roselia's pointing at us? It looks so fragile and innocent. I can't believe it. Well, in any case, I was able to learn a lot about Roselia thanks to you. Please accept these little awards from a grateful Roselia fan. Alright. That Satcha Room thing, that's starting to become a big problem with this game. That's for sure. Wait, I said I would keep some of these for later. Let's do that. I guess I'll keep those Aspare berries, but I'll get rid of everything else. I just realized one of the biggest things I need for making better lures is cake lure bases. I haven't made enough of those, I think. More lost satchels as well. Alright. Alright, I need to figure out exactly what I'm doing next. Oh wow, it's right here. Captain Zizu has set me into all sorts of training, but I don't really feel like I'm free on, so that's why I came to train with my partner Pachirisu. Seemed to figure out any winning strategy to use with Pachirisu. Heard tales about you and Strife in battle. Could I ask to show you how a Pokemon like Pachirisu could truly shine in battle? Nor and no other Pokemon. Remove all Pokemon from your game and aim and show him a strategy with Pachirisu. Oh boy! This is a challenge unlike anything ever seen before, huh? Well, that's a bit awkward. And just like all the others, it seems like this one came about just because of the fact that we have a Pachirisu in our party. If this had not happened, yeah, we would have never found out about it. That leaves things a little bit to be concerned, because I don't know exactly how... Okay, maybe this one will do it. I'll just try one battle with this thing. If it does not win, then I'll have to use whatever my XP candies I have left to get them leveled up. And again, I'm going to use this as a way to sort my big Pokemon so I can get them later, but that's just ruthless. Before I could say anything about solo challenges, suddenly this pops out. Sheesh, please. Out of nowhere, now we have this thrown at us of left field. A forced solo battle with Pachirisu of all things. Okay. And it says, show how it could do against Mighty Ursaring. Oh boy. Yeah. Second thought, this might be a bit more difficult than I thought. Okay, well, we're gonna have to use smartness to actually get through this battle, considering we can only use Pachirisu in this battle. And I will not let this set up this time. I want to make sure I actually win this, or at least attempt it. So, why not? The big thing I need to do, though, is a big strategy for winning, really. I need to go to the training grounds and see if there's a move that beats Ursaring or something else. So let's do, say I want new moves. Pick you. Let's see what exactly it can use. Probably our best setup in terms of offensive moves would be this one. And this one. So we're gonna put both of those on and see if we can use them. Now we have to actually make sure we put those in. Place Spark with that. Bite with Iron Tail. And keep the rest. Right. That's a good setup, at least for now. Or at least the best possible setup we can get. This will make it a bit less scary, but still, it's an Ursaring and a tiny Pachirisu. I'm not sure how we're gonna win this, considering the game's damage, but it's a forced solo challenge. Not a lot we can do. Alright. A little forced solo battle cannot be skipped. Okay, well, it's around 30, which of me likes is not that terrible. Darn it. I was hoping it wouldn't lower its offensive stats. If it had not done that, it probably would have allowed me to win a bit more. Or not. Okay. It only did that double move once. Well, we won somehow. That was scary, though, that's for sure. I think that's the first time ever we've been forced into a solo battle. Astasi, that was really amazing. You defeated Ursaring with Pachirisu, and your Pachirisu was so pumped up and eager for battle. Looked like it was fearless. To Pachirisu in such epilogue in battle, it was clear I don't know how well you understood it. I guess all the work in the Survey Corps members put into learning about Pokemon does pay off. But we won't be outdone. We'll work hard to reach that same level of understanding. Alright. We get some good items from this. I will say, that is quite obnoxious, in a way. I think the first and probably only time we've had in a while where we literally had no choice but to do a solo battle with just that. We could not do anything else. This is so ironic because I said before how, oh, there's probably not going to be a challenge like this ever. At least one that I'm willing to attempt and other stuff. And then they throw this at left field all of a sudden just to, like, get my hopes up, like, whoa! That's a bit of a surprise. I will say, that is a bit of a surprise. Also, one thing I realized, since Rio evolves with friendship, it'd be better to just evolve it off screen rather than on that, on screen. So, I'll do just that. But in the meanwhile, it's time to end the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed this. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.